Hi, I'm Jessie, and for my organization exam, I'm going to answer 3 questions. The first question I would like to answer is how cultural diversity in schools affect to the organizational relationships. I would like to make the consideration that cultural diversity might be included in the context of a complex organization, as if teachers achieve to handle it, it will have a positive influence on student achievement. To do that, teachers should be culturally responsive and acquire as much cultural knowledge as possible to take it into account in their pedagogical practices and then be able to connect with the students. Therefore, the relationship between teacher and student have a great importance. Within the pedagogical practices, carrying out a collaborative learning could have good effects, as it could allow the children to share different perspectives and learn not just from the theory, but also from their partners, what will be beneficial for being more open-minded. In this cultural immersion, teachers and staff should be coordinated and should be in contact to know which problems could emerge from the join of those different children. To go further, maybe it should be convenient to break with the traditional pattern that there is only one teacher in the classroom, because as Rose Hall told us, this may lead to the lack of collaboration, which seems totally normal if teachers just see one another when they have a meeting. With this measure, two professionals could share their perspectives about the same experience and take action if it is needed. Secondly, I'm going to talk about what are the factors related to the complexity of organization that difficult that our schools should be learning communities. Agreeing with the definition of Dale Hammond, a learning community is a system learning where teachers and leaders work and learn together. In class, I have seen 5 types of complexities, and from them, I think that the most probably complexity to affect that situation are randomness versus deterministic and complexity in changes. The former affects because it won't be the same a learning community where there is a strict order and it is done the same every day, that one where everyone is more flexible and try to change and do things different. The latter because every change that a teacher will make will affect to the rest of the staff and therefore to the environment of this learning community. But something that they have in common and that goes further is the personal experience and view of each teacher, as well as their professional mind. What I mean is that a learning community is based on collaboration, and if the members have different ways to see their context, they will have to agree in order to make work the learning community. To conclude, I consider that the learning community will also be affected by the type of leader there is in there, as it could influence on the relationships between partners and obviously the organization of the members. Finally, I'm going to explain which will be the 5 main points of my program if I were a principal and how each one of them represents the most important elements of my leadership style. Those points could be cooperative learning, where students have to work together in small groups, Joplin plan, where they are regrouped just for reading or mathematics, regrouping for selected subjects with the purpose of avoiding monotony and break with the heterogeneous environment for a while so they don't feel that are being labeled, sex mix to promote an equal relationship between both genders, and finally groupings from 4 to 8 pupils. The idea is that within this organization, the teacher will offer the help to the small groups continuously and will be easier to support the students. But not just the teacher, because it could allow that students help each other. I believe that those points completely fit with a transformational leader, as they are oriented to create an environment where every person is empowered to fulfill their highest needs and where values like respect and inclusiveness are promoted. I will be this type of leader because I consider that better on looking after diversity and the necessities of those students will be much more efficient than discriminate using ability grouping. Because, as Tonichi says, diversity is a right and more efficient than focusing on achieving goals instead of learning about the process. I think that I deserve an 9 mainly because of the creativity, originality, and effort that these reflections have behind. The most important idea about school organization that I have learned is that there are multiple complex factors that influence on learning and that we should care about. About the contents, I had a vague idea about the majority, but I didn't really know how different a leader could be. Finally, for preparing this video, I have learned a lot about the process of adapting video and sound, both the speeds and the tuning of both.